Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Devin. I'm a psychiatrist and a regular family guy. Welcome to the Huddle Wisdom YouTube channel. And today, on this episode, I'm going to talk with you about this idea of goal setting versus intention. So, I've always believed that setting goals, while it's not necessarily a bad thing, I do find that sometimes changing the changing your mindset to one of intention is perhaps a little bit more effective, and I'll explain why. But before I do that, I just wanted to let you know, in case you don't know, we've got the free mini course, which I've called the Toolkit for navigating emotional firestorms. It's free, and what it is a series of videos which I've collated into a 20 to 30 minute length course. It includes some PDFs, and it's designed to help you create roadmaps so that you and your loved ones or your children can navigate through emotional firestorms, meltdowns, and tantrums more easily, and also at the same time strengthen your relationships, your connections with one another. Okay, so to onto this topic now. um the title is a little bit provocative, I think, but there's a reason for that. So we all have, well, most of us anyway, we if you're a productive person and you want to get stuff done, um typically people will set goals. Um, but that is a surface level of productivity. I think that um, the goals that you set, the goals that successful people and productive people set, reveals their intention. So what does that mean exactly? It seems a little bit cryptic and maybe a bit counterintuitive, um, or or similar. What does intent mean compared to goal setting? Aren't they the same thing? Well, they're not really, because by intention, what it allows you to do is to set goals in the direction of where your present self wants to be, where you want your future self to end up. How is that different from a goal? Well, goals shift. The circumstances surrounding um, the circumstances can change underneath you, which means that you sometimes have to reset your goals, or you have to adjust yourself so that you can reach those goals. But your intention doesn't change. I think that if you want to transform yourself, you have to adopt this idea that you're going to come up against barriers in life, and sometimes those barriers are beyond your control. So setting goals into the future, you run the risk of needing to reset and change. But if you stay true to your intention, those things don't matter, because your intention is under your control, and you get to choose how you direct your energy. So I like to think about, there's this idea in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu called connection. And in order to sense or figure out how you're going to counteract um, different sorts of forces that might um, get in the way of you getting to a place where you want to be, like a more dominant position, you have to connect with your partner so that you know what they are going to do. um, I'm sorry, not what they're going to do. You have to be able to connect so that you can feel the forces, and you can adjust yourself so you can stay true to your intention and do what you need to do in order to successfully get a dominant position or to escape or to survive. But there's this position called side control. And by the way, this is not a jujitsu podcast. I don't know anything about jujitsu. I'm just a lowly level blue belt under Mount Maunganui Jiu-Jitsu, by the way. And if you don't know, check out Mount Maunganui Jiu-Jitsu, headed by Prof. Felipe Santos. It's an awesome gym. Everyone there smashes me, but it's a good time. Anyway, I love it. And the lessons I take from the mat, you can apply it. I can apply it to life. And this is one application, which I'm butchering the explanation here. Uh, so this is ideating in cross side, where you got someone on top of you, um, you know, I think perpendicular to you, chest on chest, and they've got gravity, they've got their weight bearing down on you, and it feels awful. Now, your goal might be to move the person off you, right? And if you're a bigger person or a stronger person, reaching that goal might be easier compared to if you were a much smaller, less strong person. But what if the goalposts shift? What if the person on top shifts their weight in a certain way that makes it impossible for you to bench press them, to lift them, to um, to have you meet that goal of shifting that person off you? Um, and speaking from experience, it's actually very, very difficult. It's like moving a boulder. I'm only 68 kilograms, and I'm at the gym is they're full of beasts, right? And my goal can't be to shift the person off me. I just can't do that. I have to find another way of staying safe. So my intention isn't to shift weight off of me. The outcome might be that shift, the outcome might be that weight is shifted off of me, but my intention is to escape. My intention is to find another way out, to then get to my next intention, which is to get a more dominant position from the bottom. Now, if I have a game plan based on reaching goals, I'm going to fail against a much stronger, um, bigger, heavier opponent. Um, but if my intention is simple, and that is to escape, that opens up the doors to various options and possibilities, and that increases my creativity, um, to get out. That is the intent, to escape. But the outcome might be that the person on top shifts and moves, but that's not my intention. My intention is to escape. Think about when you're in a crowded area, and you're trying to maneuver through a crowd. People get in your way, and they bump into you, and say you're wanting to get from A to B quickly, but there's a crowd of people in your way. um, you're going to be able to navigate that crowd better if your intent is to get to the other side. So your focus is on getting to the other side. Your focus is not going to be on what's going on right in front of you. It's very difficult to constantly have to um, deal with so many barriers that just flash in front of you, and you have to sidestep, you have to navigate, you have to think about you know how quickly you move your body, how quickly you shift around your hips and all that sort of stuff to get through a crowd. But somehow, miraculously, if you can just focus your attention on getting to the other side, you're able to almost anticipate things coming in front of you. You can see things happen before they happen. That's not a great analogy, but I hope you understand what I mean. Um, if you set goals, you run the risk of those goals needing to be reset, or you run the risk of um, having to revise them because circumstances changes, just like a crowded uh, being in a crowded space and trying to get through, um, or being in side control with a much heavier, stronger person. So if your intent is to transform yourself, to me, that's a much simpler, yet um, it's not a foolproof way of guarding against unpredictability. But well, it can't be because the future's not predictable. But what I mean is, um, you have control over what you intend your life to be, and it takes a little bit of discipline. Actually, let's be fair, it takes a lot of discipline. um, it also takes a lot of discipline to set goals and to reach them. But if you intend to get somewhere, that's in your control. And even if you do set mini goals, and there's nothing wrong with setting mini goals or big goals, as long as it's set in the context of your intention, because you have to accept that sometimes it's like grasping at clouds. The goalposts move, but your intention can stay the same. Um, so that's the first idea. The second idea is that it's really important to invest your time where you're going to get the greatest return. Um, and so if your intention um, is clear, and you're specific about what your intention is, I think it's much easier to then focus on those things that are going to be true to your intention. Everything else is a distraction. Things come and go. People offer opportunities to you. Sometimes problems come up, and right then you have to decide if dealing with whatever is in front of you is true to your intent or not. Um, because you can choose to ignore that or not. And you would ignore it if it's not going to get you transformed from one place to another, and it's not your intention, for example. Um, okay, so what I like to do in the mornings is when I wake up, I try and focus my mind on what I'm going to intend for the day. What is it that I want to? What is my intention um, for the next 24 hours? And I just have one or two things, um, not more than that. Otherwise, it's difficult to keep track of my intentions, because the modern world is full of distractions, and there's so many things vying for our attention. We can only concentrate on a couple of things at any one time. So in the morning when you wake up, I want you to reflect on what you intend to do for the day, not your goal. Goals can be concrete, but intention is a little bit more intangible. Um, but once you have your intention, you can then set some goals around that, to make sure that you're staying true to your intention. But like I said before, goals can change, and that's okay. Um, you don't have to feel bad if your goals change, because your goals are not the same as your intention. But if your goal is the end all and be all, and you don't reach that goal, you're going to feel crap. People are going to feel inept and they don't measure up. Whereas if you just focus on what you're intending to do, you make less comparisons with other people. Sorry, you compare yourself less to other people. You have um, more energy, more brain resources to use it for other things. Um, it takes a lot less thinking to navigate a crowd when you set your eyes on something in the distance, um, to get to the other side. That's your intention. Takes a lot of energy if your goal is, okay, I'm going to move past this person, I'm going to move past that person, I'm going to sidestep this person, and then eventually I'll get to the goal of being over there, right? Um, Now that's a bit confusing because my intention to get to the other side sounds like the goal of getting to the other side, but um, but it's not because my intention is to get to the other side, but I have the whole space in front of me to play with. I can go anywhere, as long as my energy and my intention is directed towards where I want to be. Whereas if I was to set lots of goals to get to the other side, that blinkers me. If I set goals, I only have a certain path I can take. Whereas if my intention is to get to the other side, I can go anywhere. Um, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but that doesn't matter. My intention is still to get to the other side. Um, it takes a lot less energy to think like that. So yeah, well, that's my productivity tip for the day, for the week, maybe for the month. Maybe I need to intend more productivity tips. Okay, so well, I hope you found that useful. Devin's my name. I'm a psychiatrist, regular family guy. Jump on the website, huddlewisdom.com/get tools so you can get the free mini course. Um, it's better organized than this. This is just me. I'm just playing around with this live streaming thing. Um, Seems to be working pretty well for me. It's easy. And so I'm not doing a whole lot of editing, obviously, because it's live. It's going to be archived later. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too rambling for you. I hope it was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna put a podcast version of this on the podcast as well, which I hope might be a little bit more organized for you. All right, I'm gonna go now. Thanks, guys. Hope you stay well, stay fresh, stay creative. I really appreciate you. I'm grateful to you. Grateful to have your ears and your eyes and your hearts. Yeah, I'll talk to you next time. See you later. Bye.